Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Daze and welcome to today's Raw Review and Opinions video. This, of course, is for the November 18th episode, and we'll start where we always start, and that is with how you scored the matches during our watch-along. So, Zelina and Ray against Chad and Ivy, you scored it good. 95%. Just a reminder, we've got bad, we've got good, we've got great, we've got all time. So you lot scoring this at the top end of goods. Then Sheamus against Bron. You lot scored it good 97. I thought it was a bit better than that, but it is understandable that you marked it down because of Ludwig getting involved. You know, we kind of watched that match. We were really invested in that match. And then, of course, Ludwig interferes. So I do understand the frustration there. Dirty Dom and Carlito against War Raiders. You lot went good 97 again, to be honest. It does seem like you did prefer Sheamus Bron. Just looking at the numbers, but Dirty Dom and Carlito against War Raiders still coming out with the same overall score. So that was interesting. And then main event, this was Seth against Big Bronson Reed. Again, there's outside interference. There's so much outside interference on Raw. But we get more outside interference, good 99%. So none of the matches getting into that great range. So straight away, I think that would be an area that this show could have been improved. Another area that this show could have been improved in would be for it to have not been taped. Why was this taped? So many people keep saying it's because of Thanksgiving, but that's not till the 28th. And then they're back next week live on the 25th. So 3 days before Thanksgiving, they're back live. Like, why didn't we go live this week and then tape next week? That would have made more sense. So, I don't know. Maybe they couldn't get out of next week. Perhaps they're allowing people to celebrate Thanksgiving and see their family this week, or maybe it's just a cost-saving thing. I don't know. What I do know is I hate tape shows because two of these things got spoiled. I knew about Rhea Ripley returning, and I knew that Bronson was going to be joining up with the Bloodline. That obviously suggests that Seth is going to be joining up with the OG Bloodline. And I know we didn't quite get that announced, but it's pretty much there or thereabouts, isn't it? I'll be shocked if we don't get Seth joining up with the OG Bloodline. I know he said he doesn't want to do it and nothing's going to make him do it. I think we're all expecting it, right? I'm totally expecting to see him join up with OG Bloodline. Certainly now that Solo and the Bloodline have got involved in his business, right? So that was ruined. The Rhea Ripley return was ruined. And so tape shows are really frustrating. The other problem as well with tape shows is I didn't have any of the match results ruined, but I sort of already knew that Sheamus was not going to be Intercontinental Champion, because if he'd have won the Intercontinental Championship, I'm fairly confident I would have heard about it. So even match results that don't get ruined still get ruined, because you sort of sit there thinking, I don't think he's going to win this, because if he did, I'm pretty sure someone would have tagged me in it. I'm pretty sure the images would have been all over the internet. So it kind of even ruined things that weren't ruined. So it's a really difficult show to score, to be honest, because I do think this show was pretty solid. I do think that some of these matches were really delivering, and then maybe just because of the outside interference fell away a bit at the end. I do think Rhea coming back was a big moment. I do think that the Seth thing is building quite nicely. The Wyatt 6, there wasn't loads to it. I feel like what most people are talking about is how much Bo looked like Bray, which that kind of suggests that there's not loads to, you know, what we got this week. So yeah, score-wise, probably about a 6-2-5. I'm thinking around that sort of level. I think I would have been more generous if this was not a tape show. But it does make it very, very hard to score, and I cannot wait for us to get through these tape shows, to be honest. I know we've got a few more coming up around Thanksgiving. I think SmackDown's tape, which is totally understandable. I mean, I'm not heartless. I don't mind them taping around Christmas, taping around Thanksgiving. I just don't get why this show, which is 10 days before Thanksgiving, and then they're back in next week, right? They're back at work 3 days before Thanksgiving. So why didn't they tape? I'm not going to get into it. I don't get it. I don't understand. I flipping hate tape shows. But we are where we are. So I'm going to settle on a 6.5. The other thing I didn't like as well, whilst I'm on a rant, is I didn't like Gunther looking as weak as what he looked. I've already said that a few times in a few different videos. I understand he needs to look vulnerable. I just felt like he looked a bit too vulnerable. He jumped Damien, right? He had the advantage, and he was still laying on the floor afterwards. It's probably not a great sign for Damien either, because if Damien looks really strong in the build, he's probably not going to be beating Gunther. And then Gunther's kind of losing a little bit of his aura because, you know, he's second guessing himself and everything. So even that stuff, I'm like, wasn't too keen on it. Yeah, you know, we'll see. I'm just trying to think back to some of the other backstage. Even the Judgment Day stuff seemed a little strange this time. Do you know what I mean? Like, Finn sort of stepping up, seemed to enjoy being in charge, but I don't really feel like we got much development there. So, I think 625 is very fair. Very, very fair. And if it wasn't taped, might have been a higher score. So, with that being said, let's get to your comments and see what you lot thought. So, here, Jeremy said it was a good show overall. Rhea's return and her headbutting Liv was a nice touch. The promo segments for Final Testament Wyatt's were well done. I love the progression of the Bloodline story with Seth now needing to decide what to do next. Kelly said, good evening, sir. I thought Raw was pretty darn good. Matches were okay. Video packages backstage drama was much better. Miz Karrion was so good. Love seeing Bo looking like Bray. It took my breath away. I don't know if you meant to rhyme, but you did. 725 out of 10. I love you, Daze. That's right. That's right. We are very quickly becoming a cult. Ratchet the Owl said, I cannot wait to see how the Wyatts respond. I'm also hoping it leads to an all-out brawl at Survivor Series, even though it's probs lead into main event instead. The New Day is falling apart like most slow divorces. Predictable but not bad. Glad I was able to avoid spoilers all week. 6 out of 10 for Ratchet the Owl. Jang Tae Sang, shout out to you, said Raw was absolutely spectacular, even though it was taped. So damn good. Matches were good. Bo's segment was so much like Bray. It was as if Bray was talking. Overall, 9 out of 10. Yeet, says Jang Tae Sang. Tony said, I enjoyed the show this week. I'm happy I was able to stay away from spoilers. Next week's match with New Day Alpha Academy will be interesting. I think Kofi isn't going to help Xavier much in that match. Wyatt 6 stuff cooked. 8.5. Canadian Ball said, I really liked it. The women's War Games match looks really good. The headbutt, I think, really added to the match. The Wyatt promo was really good. Added so much to that feud. Seth has to make a choice now. Sammy is right. He did team with Cody, so why can't he team with Roman? I think there's a lot more water under the bridge, to be honest. I mean, you know, Seth's relationship with Cody is drastically different to his relationship with Roman because of the shields. And the fact that they both broke out of that group, and there's probably a little bit of rivalry. What's the words I'm looking for? I suppose rivalry, but you know, like how they both were in a similar position in the Shields. And it's undeniable that this has been Roman's era. Like, you could understand that being something that really irks Seth Rollins. Whereas, you know, I don't really feel like he's gone through that with Cody. So I think they're in a bit of a different place. Raymond said, I thought Raw was good, actually. I'm going to give it a 9 for me. I thought War Games I'm ready for War Games, and I'm glad to see Rhea back so soon. I'm enjoying Final Testament Wyatt 6 segments, and I'm happy that Zelina won the tag match too. Hashtag ZVRme. OTC said, it was good. Bo's segment gave me goosebumps. He exactly was looking and talking like Bray. Bron and Sheamus was match of the night. Very disappointed that it ended in DQ. Seth versus Bronson was okay. Overall, 7.5. Brady said, I love the Bo Dallas promo tonight. He looks so much like Bray. Final Testament and The Miz have messed up. I can't wait to see what Alexa Bliss will do when she returns. Watson said, in the future, when Jacob Fatu maybe parts ways with the Bloodline, he and Bronson Reed would make an awesome tag team. Trenton said, I enjoyed it. It was good. Briggsy said, I'm going to say 5 out of 10. Mainly because it was a tape show, and tape shows instantly take away my excitement because of spoilers. The matches were okay, and I really liked the Priest Gunther segments, Karrion's promo, and Wyatt 6. I hope tape shows don't become the norm. They won't be the norm. They won't be the norm. We won't get like a lot of them, but there has been a little bit of an increase in them over the past month or so. Samantha said, I enjoyed it, even knowing the spoilers. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Glad to see Zelina and Dakota getting time and respect. Hashtag ZVRme. Dark Necrofear said, I need more 6. Carl said it was okay. Better than last week, but still average. Nowhere near as good as Raw has been for most of the year. They absolutely botched War Games. Men's should have been proper Bloodline 4v4. I agree. And the women's, we have people who are literally just feuding with each other on the same team. Wyatt 6 were there for the double taping, but didn't even turn up for this show. Just another Riddler wannabe video. Love the King Kota solo package. Probably the highlight of the show, which is sad. Feels like we're going through the motions until Netflix. Wyatt 6 Forever said, not a great show. I think Bo and Karrion's promos were the best part of Raw by far. Rhea being back is cool. I think we could have saved her return for something better than Survivor Series. Overall, I'll give the show 6.5. Arrows 1 said, good show overall. I really enjoyed Rhea coming back. Should be a great War Games match. Miz and Final Testament versus the Wyatt 6 is good storytelling. Both factions did very well with their promos, and I can't wait for more storytelling on that end. Overall, 7.5 for Raw this week. El Patata said it was one of the worst shows of the year. Seth said he wouldn't team with Roman under any circumstance, but Solo standing on a table to watch the match will make him change his mind. He got tickets. He got tickets. Don't know what we mean by that. El Patata, shout out to you though, my friend. Nishi said it was a very good show. Bron versus Sheamus with match of the night. Ludwig having the last laugh in the end was brilliant. Their triple threat match is going to be a classic as well. Love Karrion Kross and Miz's video package. Love Seth versus Reed featuring the Bloodline. Elia Punk said, give me more Wyatt 6 on my screen because I love the video package of Bo Dallas. I'm glad I'm not the only one who sees that vibe of the cult version of Bray Wyatt in that promo. R.I.P. Bray. Real Wrestling Fan said, I don't know if it's the taped part of it, but I basically stayed away from spoilers this week. I guess that's the problem. Even if you stay away, it does still kill the vibe of the show. It felt flat to me. I'm giving it a 6. Great job as always, Daze. Did enjoy Ludwig Zelina tonight. NXT on deck. NXT should be great because we've got Stephanie Vacour in action against Jada Parker, which I'm really looking forward to. Zarya against Ren Sinclair. So there are some genuine exciting things. And of course, Andre Chase, Ridge Holland. If Andre Chase loses, Chase U disband. So we could be seeing the end of Chase U. So yeah, NXT is gonna pull a bit of weight this week. Phoenix Maximus said, honestly, War Games is being forced and it's leading to some weird stuff. I don't hate Reed being involved. I do not want Seth to team with Roman. Rhea back is awesome. Really do want Sheamus to get the IC title at some point. Good show, being that it was taped. Musically High said it was the worst Raw I've seen this year. Too many videos and commercials. I'm not interested in WWE dragging Seth into this bloodline mess, so I hated the ending. They killed Jey Uso's momentum. They've sucked him back into the island of irrelevancy. Boring. 2 out of 10. Oh, I do love a good, strong opinion. Suma Brata said, pretty good, honestly. Looking forward to Survivor Series now. I'll give it 7.5. But Daze, what if Seth doesn't join the babyface team at War Games? Then according to you, who should? Brock would be cool, but I'm not sure I want to see him back on TV. Can't see it being Brock until that legal case changes, to be honest. Who would I have if it isn't Seth? I mean, I'm fairly confident it is Seth. Obviously, we know the CM Punk's Paul Heyman guy. There is word that CM Punk is going to be at Survivor Series. So CM Punk getting involved, maybe somehow because of Heyman. You know, maybe the wise man is contacted. He says, I know someone. And then he goes and gets CM Punk. Like, that would be pretty cool. But, I mean, for me, I would have kept it 4-on-4. I really would have kept it 4-on-4. But, yeah, if it's not going to be Seth, and I'm fairly sure it's Seth, there is a path for CM Punk. But I really don't think Brock. I just don't think, whilst this case is still going, that it's going to go that way, personally. John Elite says, awesome vignettes. With Kross and Miz as well as Bo. Nice to see Rhea back. More tension with Judgment Day. I couldn't understand what happened after the mixed tag match. Yeah, I couldn't. Yeah, that was a bit strange. I do agree. Like, Finn sort of took over and he kind of built up Dominik, but then had a little dig as well. And there wasn't really much in the segment, it felt to me. But it did feel like a segment that you could really overanalyze if you wanted to, but I don't think anyone really wants to. Cool video package from Dakota. Love the tale of the tape tonight. I think Seth is number 5 for OG Bloodline. Jade Kickter Watson said, what if these boomers run down? I don't even know who these boomers are. In the IC title match, no contest, and then another boomer beats both men. Adam Pearce comes out, and then this match is a no contest. Well, if I knew who these boomers were, then I would be able to answer you. Lexi said, Bo Dallas looks like Bray a lot. I shedded a tear. It was hard for me to not cry when I watched the tape. So there we go. I didn't think we would get to all of these comments, but we actually managed to get through them quite quickly, which is really good because I like to try and get through as many as possible. So there we go. We had 27 and it seems like we got through all of them and we didn't even quite click over to the 20-minute mark. So what we can do though is jump over here and have a look at the scores. See how you lot are scoring it at the moment. So if we go boom, so we've had 130 votes. So obviously we've got a lot more votes to come in. So at the moment, Great 64, All-Time 5, you know that I like to add them together, whichever one wins. So Great is winning. So that's 64. Always add anything that's above. So that would be Great 69, right? I do that because even though these people didn't win, they still clearly thought that it was, well, better than great. So I just still add them as well. Because they thought it was great, but they thought it was even better. So I still add them. So 69. So if this is Raw Great 69, let's have a look and see what last week's Raw was. Oh, last week's Raw was a flipping disaster. That was not even a great rating. It was good that came out on top. Good 96%. So good 96. So this absolutely decimates, destroys last week's Raw, even though it was taped, which is a surprise. So, yeah, great. SmackDown came out with a great rating as well. Great 80%. Here, look, we got another great 79 for NXT. Good for last week's Raw. SmackDown before that was great. If you do want to have a look at all these scores for all these different shows, you can just go over to the Wrestling Daze Opinions channel. You can see we've hit 10,000 subscribers over there, which is awesome. And just click on posts and you'll be able to see and vote as well for all these shows. It's got all the premium live events as well, SummerSlam and all of that. So you'll be able to find all of that information, Halloween Havoc. And you can keep going down and you can see all the different shows. Have we got a big PLE? There we go, Bad Bloods. That's how Bad Blood scored. So awesome. Thank you for your responses. Really appreciate it. And hopefully I will see you again next time. Bye for now.